Airtech Soldier here, and I am back to talk about Star Trek Discovery, Season 4, Episode 7, and my thoughts on this episode. Well, that was bad, but there's a little bit of good in there. I will give this episode that. There was a little bit of something in there that felt like fucking Star Trek. How the fuck this got through the writing room and didn't get killed, I have no idea. But there was one fucking scene in this episode that felt like Star Trek. And I can say this, from the 3 seasons that I've watched of Discovery, because I didn't watch the 2nd season, because I skipped that, because it was shit. But through all those seasons, through all those episodes, this has to be the only one that I've ever felt like I was watching a Star Trek scene. I'm not going to say episode, because the rest of this episode was shit. But this one scene between Book and Burnham was actually good. And I cannot believe they did that. I can't believe I'm saying that. But I'm going to go back to the old ways and say everything else is shit. Well, scratch that. Well, I don't know. Stamets, he was starting to actually be a good character and was starting to grow on me. And then he fucking cucks out at the end. And, oh God, again, he was starting to feel like he was a Star Trek character, and he just turns into a woke piece of crap. I'm sorry. There was hope there. There was hope, but nah, they fucked him up at the end. But other than that, this episode, like one scene was good, but the rest of this episode was bad. It felt like I was watching some drama series, some boring teenage crap. And this is supposed to be a Star Trek show. And it only pisses me off more that they can do one fucking scene that feels like Star Trek, but the rest of it is complete shit. I mean, how can you get something so fucking wrong every fucking week? But luckily, Star Trek Discovery is taking a very long break, thank fuck, till the 10th of February. So that's good news. But, oh God, the computer part of this goddamn episode was fucking ridiculous. But let's get into spoilers now. Again, the writing's bad, the acting is bad, and it just doesn't feel like Star Trek. Except for one scene. One fucking scene. It still confuses me how one fucking scene can get through and feel like Star Trek, yet the rest of it feels like shit. Fucking hell, this show. But I think it's getting cancelled. Like, it feels like it's getting cancelled. Now, I'll explain why I think it's getting cancelled in the spoilers, because it's to do with a spoiler. But it really does feel like they're cancelling this show. But I could be wrong. It is Star Trek Discovery. It is CBS. Why would they cancel this? I mean, it's not like it's got kicked off of Netflix. It's not like it's got terrible ratings. I mean, of course they're going to keep the show going. Anyway, I'm going to go to spoilers now. If you don't want to hear spoilers, leave now. So 3, 2, 1. So this episode starts off with Michael talking to the computer that has emotions. And when the computer is told to find the location of the new species that has created the wormhole weapon, which they're now calling the species 10C for some reason, the computer then finds the location of the species, but then refuses to tell Burnham the location because she's scared the crew might get hurt. And so it fucking begins. Her entire part of this episode, the computer's part, because now the computer is not just a computer, it is now a fucking character. The computer is having more fucking screen time than the fucking bridge crew. Just let that fucking sink in. The bridge crew. Most of those idiots have been in the show since season 1. And the computer in season 4 is getting a fucking storyline. For half this episode. A fucking computer. How the fuck is this happening? Like, how the fuck is a computer getting more screen time than the people on the bridge? It's insane. And not only are they fucking giving the computer more screen time, they're also giving the fucking scientist guy from the last episode who went crazy more screen time. Oh yeah, by the way, he's gay as well, apparently. I don't know why I needed to mention that, but apparently he's gay as well. So, woohoo, another gay guy. But again, this science guy, been in the series 2 episodes, has had more screen time than the bridge crew. It's fucking ridiculous now. Like, are they just bad actors or something? Like, Discovery just can't use them because they're shit acting and they don't want to risk, having a bad actor on this show. I mean, it's pretty fucking laughable when you fucking watch the show and realise most of them are already bad actors anyway, so what the fuck are they risking? But still, it pisses me off. Again, you watch Voyager, you watch Deep Space Nine, you watch Next Generations, you watch the first seasons, you fucking learn about the bridge crew. That is literally what Star Trek is about. The bridge crew. Searching the galaxy together, finding out about them. Oh god, this show is so fucking stupid. Anyway, rant over. So, this episode is about the computer becoming sentient, basically. And the fact that now Michael Byrne has to tell her superiors, finally, that her ship has a living computer. So Starfleet send over that old guy to do a to do a survey to check whether the computer's living status is a danger to Starfleet. And in all these scenes with the computer, it fucking feels like a teenage drama. It really does. It doesn't feel like Star Trek. They're trying so fucking desperately to try to make it feel like Star Trek. But it doesn't. It feels like teenagers discussing whether this girl is right for the club. But I will give Stamets credit. He starts talking fucking sense. He mentions you can't have a living computer on a starship because that's a threat to the crew. He also brings up the fucking shit from the second season about a living computer and how much of a threat that is. And again, why the fuck isn't Michael Burnham mentioning that shit? How come she isn't terrified of a living computer, even though apparently in the second fucking season that's what she was fighting the entire fucking time? It's completely stupid. Oh my god. Again, I give Stamets a lot of credit in this episode. He asked the difficult questions. He was trying to bring a point up. He was trying to give the other side of the argument, because everybody else in that fucking room wants to give that computer sentience. They want to accept that computer as a living person. Now again, that can feel like Star Trek sometimes. And yes, Star Trek has done stories like that, but it was done in such a better way, and it didn't feel so fucking childish. Again, bad writing. Bad writing. I mean, I wouldn't be as pissed off if there was just more than just Stamets trying to make a fucking case for the computer to go back to being normal instead of sentient. Everybody in that fucking room was literally on the computer's side. I mean, how the fuck can... Oh, it just fucking annoys me. And the guy they send there to be, you know, to do this observation, to check if this computer is dangerous, he's just being an arsehole all the way through it. Oh, well, not an arsehole, a smart arse. And he doesn't really add much to the fucking scenes. He just says a few fucking words and then just disappears in the background and lets the regulars talk. I'm just sick of it, man. It's just, you could have episodes where we learn more about the crew. And I know I bring this up a lot, but it's something we really should be past by now, especially in season fucking 4. It just pisses me off. But they eventually come to the conclusion that the computer is not just sentient, but it's a living machine that has dreams and was created of half the sphere and half of the technology that sent them back in, well, that sent them into the future, and that's how it became sentient. So at least they explained how this fucking thing happened, and by the end of the episode, they explain. Well, they accept the computer is alive, and they come to the conclusion, or the spy guy comes to the conclusion, that the computer should remain as part of Discovery. And then, what destroys Stamets for me in this episode is he comes in and just accepts it. And he says, fine, let's let the computer be alive. And not just be alive, it can now be a member of fucking Starfleet. Oh my god. Oh my god. So, a living computer that has already shown that it can refuse orders, that could put your crew in danger, let's just fuck all that off because the computer has fucking feelings. Again, Discovery is the only spore drive ship in the fucking fleet. It's a very important ship, unfortunately. And yet Starfleet is going to just be happy with it having a sentient computer because it has feelings. It's fucking dumb. It's just fucking dumb. Now again, some people are going to say that's Star Trek. You know, they give a good question like that. Yes, but it has to make sense. There also has to be a conclusion that's not so stupid. And again, why the fuck are you making a computer fucking a character? Why are you doing that? And a part of me thinks this is Orville again. This is Discovery copying the Orville because they have a machine that's sentient and they're trying to copy it because they are desperate to try to get that viewership back that the Orville has. I mean, unfortunately, the Orville has been off for a long time, which pisses me off. But again, it feels like Discovery is just copying more from the Orville because it's a better show. Oh, God. But that's that part of the episode. So the computer part of the episode, stupid. But we also learned in this episode, the trans character, apparently she's now leaving the show. Which was, what the fuck? I mean, this came out of nowhere. When she's... when she said she was leaving, it surprised me. Like, where the fuck is this coming from? Because she's decided to go back to Trill. And again, what I think is the proof that this show might be getting cancelled is a lot of characters seem to be leaving. And I don't get why. I mean, we've had Tilly leave, now the trans character's leaving. Is anybody else leaving? I mean, it is very strange. I mean, she's only going to Trill, but Tilly's only going to an academy. So, is the show getting cancelled? I don't know. That to me is, it could be getting cancelled because I think so many characters are leaving in one season, by the way. Usually you only lose one character a season. This show seems to be losing two. I don't know. There could be stuff happening in the background we don't know about. But to me that may be a signal that this show is getting cancelled if a lot of people are abandoning ship, let's just say. So she's decided to go back to Trill. And the other girl is happy for her, but she's sad as well. Blah, blah, blah. Childish teenage bullshit. Now, that's all that is. But let's get on to the part of the episode that I actually liked. So, we're back in the Federation, and there is a meeting of all the planets that want to work together to deal with the Wormhole Incident. And the president of the Federation has brought everybody here to vote on what they should do to deal with it. Now, what I liked in this episode was how Michael Burnham and Book took different sides on how to deal with the wormhole. Because Michael is on the side that is trying to say they need to do a first contact mission with the species that has created the wormhole weapon. And Book is on the side of the people that want to attack the wormhole species because of his people being attacked, which I actually liked. It gave two parts to an argument. Book's part and Burnham's part. And they both fucking explained what side of the aisle they were on. They actually tried to argue. And that's what Star Trek's about. It's not about having one argument is the right argument. It's about letting people choose. And that's what they did in this episode. Michael's trying to get the people of the Federation not to go to war with species that may be technologically superior to them. But also, maybe they aren't. Maybe the wormhole is not a weapon, but it may be something else. Book, on the other hand, he wants revenge. He wants to attack the species that has killed his people, and he wants the Federation to go to war with the species. And he explains it by he doesn't want anybody else to die because of this weapon, which I liked. I liked the fact we had both characters give their fucking opinion, and we were able to have a discussion about it, which was good. And what eventually happens is the Federation votes to do a first contact mission with the species 10C, but Book can't accept that, so he works with the science guy to steal a spore drive. Now, I have forgotten to mention what the science guy did in this episode. So the science guy was talking to Book in the meeting, and he decides to tell the Federation that he has a plan to destroy the wormhole weapon using isotonic weapons, which are banned by the Kidderminster Accords. Which doesn't make sense because the Kidderminster Accords with the Romulans, and the Romulans don't exist anymore. So why the fuck do you care about those accords? The Romulans don't exist anymore. Those accords are kind of done. But isotonic weapons are dangerous because if you use them and you use them wrong, they can destroy subspace and make it impossible for a starship to go to warp. So that's why Michael doesn't really want to use those weapons, because they are very dangerous. But the science guy says that he can control it and it will work to destroy this wormhole weapon. But as I said before, the Federation vote against using weapons and they're voting for a first contact. So, well, conclusion basically. So Book works with the science guy, they steal a spore drive, and they go on Book's ship and transport to the wormhole to start the attack, basically. And that is the end of the episode, with Michael trying to stop Book, but unfortunately he getting away. And that's the end of the episode. And we also find out that Star Trek is taking a break till the 10th of February. And so I think Picard is coming out next week. I don't know if that is true. I'll probably look online and see if it's happening. But I don't remember Star Trek taking a break last year, so why are they taking a break this year? I don't know. But other than that, again, most of the episode was bad, but there was two good things in this episode, which was Book and Michael having a discussion and actually giving good points on the both sides of one argument, which again is what Star Trek used to be good at. So, yeah. If we get more episodes like that, more episodes that feel like Star Trek, I don't know, maybe this show would actually be worth watching. But I doubt we're going to get that. And that's the end of my review. If you like this review, give it a like. If you dislike this review, give it a dislike. And if you like my content, do think about subscribing. How the fandom is, long live CG, and fuck SJWs. Bye.